was an impressive performance by Jimmy Butler. Now, I'm not going where everybody else was going last night. I was getting a little annoyed with the broadcast. I kept saying, oh, they're missing two of their stars. Stop it. Jimmy Butler is their star. And he played like it last night. He played like what he is, one of the top 15 players in the NBA. He's an all-NBA talent. He's a two-way player. He's a guy who he plays with great energy. Everybody, we talked about this before, everybody is worse off. When Jimmy Butler leaves, you figure out, oh, wait a minute, he was better than we thought. We really miss him. So I was glad to see him kind of have a breakout performance on that stage last night. Does not change the way I feel about the series, but I was very entertained by him. He was a handful. He was a handful to stop, and I think Los Angeles, the Lakers, will be ready for him in Game 4. They were not ready for him in Game 3. I don't think, psychologically, I don't think they were ready for this team in Game 3.
So can we
look at?
Let's stay here for a second before we talk about the rest of the series. Let's go back to. I want to stay with last night. So we've seen 3 40-point triple doubles in NBA Finals history: West, James, and now Butler. We have never seen in the NBA Finals a 40-point triple-double on 70% shooting. So that efficient a 40-point triple-double. By the way, Shaq and Kareem are the only other cats to get 40 in a triple-double without shooting a three. Okay? To get 40 and not shoot a three. I told you that 3 people have already had 40-point triple-doubles already. Never in his NBA Finals career, by opponents or teammates, has LeBron James ever been outscored, out-rebounded, and out-assisted in a game. I mean, it's rare anyway that LeBron is not the best player on the floor. Yeah. So you got to appreciate what an explosive element this Jimmy Butler situation was last night. Okay. I mean, that was an all-time performance. And I'm glad you talked about him as a top 15, top 20 type player. That was definitely a recalibration type game. That's the type of game that makes you step back. Because you know what's crazy is you can get to 15 fast in the NBA. You know, we throw that around. Oh, he's a top 10, top 15. You can get to 15 fast, quiet as it's kept.
Go fast, right.
I don't know that a lot of people necessarily have viewed Jimmy Butler. I mean, for one, this is his first trip to the finals. I don't know that people have viewed Jimmy Butler as a superstar. If you protect the word superstar the way that most of us do, I don't know that most people have viewed Jimmy Butler as a superstar. I don't know casual people have. I'm sure, astute NBA aficionados do. But I'm not sure that he was a hands-down superstar before this playoff run, and definitely not before last night. Whether they win or lose a series, Jimmy Butler has already won over quite a few people with this run that he's led the Heat on.
Yeah, and this team, this personality of this Heat team fits him perfectly. If you go back to his story, and he was one of the last guys drafted, if not the last guy drafted in the first round of his class. I think he was 30th, the 30th pick in the draft, out of Marquette. So, and those guys, and they remember it. From draft night, okay, I'm kind of overlooked. I'll remember it. And they never forget it. And so even with this free agent class, we talked about Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but Jimmy Butler was a free agent as well. And he went to Miami, and nobody said, Miami, that was a great pickup for them. They got Jimmy Butler. He's really going to turn that franchise around. Coming into the playoffs, the team was kind of dismissed. They were a number 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. They beat Milwaukee, and people still thought the Celtics were the more talented team at the beginning of the series. And so they have that kind of fits with that ethic of who they are. And it just fit right into his story last night. You're missing 2 guys. You're down zip 2. Oh, okay, here come the Lakers. They're probably going to beat you in this game. And they beat you in this game, they're going to sweep you. And it was not only was it a statement game for Jimmy Butler, but it was a statement game for this team overall. But this is what I would say. Because
so what does it say? What statement? What statement did they make?
The statement is, don't ever overlook us. Don't ever count us out. Don't count us out. and don't disrespect us. So I think a part of that did filter into the Lakers last night. They were convincing in those 2 wins over Miami. And maybe they started to think about, oh, we're almost out of the bubble. Let's not dismiss that. The quicker you can end this series, the quicker you can get the hell out of there. I'm sure they're ready to leave. Everybody's ready to leave. Hey, beat this team on Sunday night, go up 3-0. Now we're going to sweep them, and we're going to go home. But this is what, and I think you mentioned LeBron. He's never been outscored, out-rebounded, out-assisted. Let's face it, LeBron did not play a great game last night. That's why I think as impressive as this was for Jimmy Butler in Miami, I don't think it changes the course of the series. I think the Lakers still win the series. I think they win it in 5. But they got to get their head right. And if I'm LeBron, I'd tell the rest of these guys, when you look at the Miami Heat, no matter who's out there, don't just look at Jimmy Butler. Imagine everybody has Jimmy Butler. You'll do a little Photoshop. Put Jimmy Butler's head on 2 guys, on 2 starters, and on the other 3, put on Pat Riley's head. Because that's the personality of the Miami Heat. I'm talking about crazy Pat Riley. Pat Riley, the guy who would, if you go 1 pound overweight, he'd fine you because he had a little weight system as a coach. So he had everybody. He put you on the scale every week. And if you're 1 pound or 2 pounds over, it's coming out of your check. I'm talking about the Pat Riley who used to do these little trust circles. And one time in a trust circle, he put his head in ice cold water and waited for somebody to pull him out. And when they did, he said, oh, I knew that was going to happen. See, I knew you had my back. He's crazy, man. Pat Riley's crazy. Pat Riley, you remember Pat Riley put out a statement on Danny Ainge? This is a statement, a corporate statement. He told Danny Ainge, no. He said, shut the F up. In a corporate statement. So this is the personality of the Miami Heat. If you approach them that way, you'll never take them lightly. I think the Lakers are a really good team. I think they're better. I think they're much better than Miami, and they should win this series.